Ning Tian sees Luo Wuqing there, and quickly pushes the saintess away in a panic. He turns to Luo Wuqing and says, "Wife, I'm helping the saintess of Yaoqi with her breakthrough. I didn't see anything." Luo Wuqing looks at Ning Tian, surprised, and asks, "See? See what?" Ning Tian starts waving his hands frantically and keeps saying to Luo Wuqing, "I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything." Then it suddenly hits Ning Tian. He remembers and realizes, right. My wife still doesn't know I've obtained the Eye of Perception. The Queen Mother and the Saintess begin walking toward them. The Queen Mother looks at Ning Tian and says, "Wow, I didn't expect the Patriarch to be so whipped by his wife." Ning Tian turns to the Queen Mother and responds, "Not at all. Respecting your partner is a fine quality every good man should have." Hearing that, the Queen Mother smiles and says, "I'll grant you some dignity." Then she turns to Luo Wuqing and asks, "Speak, Empress Luo. Why did you call for me?" Hearing this, Ning Tian asks Luo Wuqing, "Were you the one who invited her, wife? Don't tell me you want to fight the Queen Mother of the West?" Luo Wuqing lets out a long sigh, places a hand on her forehead, looks at the Queen Mother, and says, "Let's take him." The Queen Mother responds with a nod, "All right." Then both the Queen Mother and Luo Wuqing grab Ning Tian by his arms and start dragging him away. Ning Tian, squished between them, struggles and protests, "Huh? Where are you taking me? I can walk on my own." The disciples nearby watch as the Queen Mother and Luo Wuqing drag Ning Tian off, and begin whispering to each other, one on each arm, "The Patriarch is truly our role model." A short while later, the Queen Mother, Luo Wuqing, and Ning Tian arrive inside Luo Wuqing's office. After stepping in, Luo Wuqing speaks up about the demon god's lost item. "I have some leads. So I called the Queen Mother of the West to discuss strategies together." Hearing that, Ning Tian turns to Luo Wuqing and asks, "Wife, you found that thing?" Luo Wuqing replies, "Last time I heard of it, I sent people to investigate. Recently, the Great Compassion Palace sent some news." The Queen Mother thinks for a moment and says, "Great Compassion Palace? The one in Beizhou?" Luo Wuqing begins explaining to Ning Tian and the Queen Mother, "Exactly. Within the territory of the Great Compassion Palace, there's a place called the Divine Fall Land. Recently, sun-covering clouds and demonic sounds have been appearing frequently there. I suspect it's related to the lost item of that demon god." The Queen Mother frowns slightly and says, "If it were anywhere else in Beizhou, it would be fine. But it had to be the Divine Fall Land." Ning Tian looks at her and asks, "What's the problem with the Divine Fall Land?" The Queen Mother explains, "It's said that millions of years ago, a war between celestial gods took place in Beizhou. Two divine realm powerhouses battled for hundreds of years, and eventually both died in Beizhou. Their corpses and essence turned into massive energy, forming what is now the Divine Fall Land." Hearing this, Ning Tian asks, "Doesn't sound that special. Is there a problem?" The Queen Mother replies, "Indeed. Since then, the Divine Fall Land has exhibited a strange phenomenon. The stronger someone is, the more pressure they'll face upon entering, while the weak feel less." Ning Tian looks at both the Queen Mother and Luo Wuqing and says, "So you all can't enter the Divine Fall Land?" Then Luo Wuqing turns to Ning Tian and says, "I'm sorry. I won't be able to accompany and fully protect you this time either." Suddenly, Ning Tian steps closer, gently turns Luo Wuqing's face toward him, and says with a grin, "Wife, you're so kind. If you really feel bad, you could comfort your husband thoroughly tonight." At that very moment, the Queen Mother lets out a small cough from the side and says, "Ahem, ahem. Patriarch, did you forget someone is still here, alive and watching?" Luo Wuqing shoots a glare at Ning Tian and says, "Enough with the nonsense." Suddenly, Ning Tian's clothes tear apart into pieces. Luo Wuqing forcefully pushes him down into a chair and says, "Sit properly." Ning Tian cries out, startled, "What are you doing?" Then, after seating him, Luo Wuqing and the Queen Mother come in close and wrap around Ning Tian tightly. Blushing in a panic, Ning Tian shouts, "Wife, in broad daylight, and there's three of us, isn't this kind of inappropriate?" From both sides, the Queen Mother and Luo Wuqing tug at Ning Tian's cheeks and say, "What are you thinking?" Ning Tian starts yelling frantically, "I was wrong, I was wrong, I was wrong, I wasn't thinking anything." Luo Wuching says to Ning Tian, to be safe, we'll place the 9 Calamities Protection Formation on you. Once you're in mortal danger, the formation will activate immediately. As she says this, she begins forming the 9 Calamities Protection Formation over Ning Tian's body. Behind her, the Queen Mother does the same while saying, exactly. It will protect you, and also allow us to detect it right away. Half an hour later, Ning Tian rises from the chair and looks at the 9 Calamities Protection Formation. He asks, is it done? Luo Wuching responds, yes. Then she calls out softly, husband. Ning Tian answers, and as he does, Luo Wuching begins to worry and says, if you find anything you can't handle, just call me directly. Don't worry about the pressure of the Divine Fall Land. Compared to that pressure, your safety is far more important. Ning Tian calls her gently, wife, then quickly walks over and wraps his arms around her. Holding her close, he says, I have no way to repay you, all I can offer is my body. Luo Wuching immediately responds, who wants your body? Watching their affectionate moment, the Queen Mother covers her eyes with her hand and blushes lightly. Disgusting, she mutters. Meanwhile, the Grand Elder arrives outside Luo Wuching's office and knocks on the door. Empress, Patriarch, I've returned. Luo Wuching turns to Ning Tian and says the Grand Elder is back. Seems he handles things quite efficiently. Suddenly, Ning Tian leans in and starts planting kisses on Luo Wuching's cheek. As he does, he says softly, wife, wait for me peacefully at home. Your husband will go and return soon. Then Ning Tian walks over to the Grand Elder and says, Grand Elder, thank you for your hard work. Could you accompany me once more? The Grand Elder looks at him and asks, where to? Ning Tian replies, Beizhou. Specifically, the Great Compassion Palace. Hearing that, the Grand Elder sighs and says, Patriarch, I just got back. I haven't even sat down yet. And with that, Ning Tian and the Grand Elder begin walking away together. Watching them leave, the Queen Mother turns to Luo Wuching and says, something even the demon god is searching for definitely isn't ordinary. That place is dangerous. Are you really fine with letting him face it alone? Luo Wuching, gazing at Ning Tian's fading figure with a soft smile, says, I trust him. He always finds a way out of desperate situations and turns danger into safety. Because his very existence is a miracle. Scene shifts. The Great Compassion Palace of the Northern State. Inside the palace, a crowd of people stands gathered. From among them, the Palace Lord of the Great Compassion Palace, Yi Bei, walks steadily toward the throne. As he walks, he mutters to himself, the Divine Fall Land has had frequent anomalies lately. Yuer and the others are trapped inside. We don't even know if they're alive or dead. And as her father, I can't do anything about it. From the side, someone calls out to Yi Bei, Palace Lord, don't despair. We've already requested help from the Celestial Demon Sect. Now that the Celestial Demon Sect firmly leads the demonic path, they'll definitely help us. Palace Lord Yi Bei responds, I don't know who they'll send. Hopefully, it's that legendary patriarch. Suddenly, waves of intense purple spiritual energy surge into the hall. Sensing it, Palace Lord Yi Bei looks up in surprise. A voice echoes through the air, Humph, legendary patriarch? I think that's just a joke. An old man appears before Palace Lord Yi Bei, his entire body radiating a powerful purple glow. Seeing him, Palace Lord Yi Bei says, Great-grandfather Tian Bei, you've successfully broken through? Truly something to celebrate. Great-grandfather Tian Bei replies, it's nothing special. I'm just a one-tribulation great emperor. Palace Lord Yi Bei then turns to his great-grandfather Tian Bei and says, Great-grandfather, did you know Yuer is now trapped in the Divine Fall Land? Great-grandfather Tian Bei replies, I've heard a little about that matter. But you all want the legendary patriarch of the Celestial Demon Sect to come resolve it. He doesn't have that ability. Hearing this, Palace Lord Yi Bei looks at him in shock and says, how can that be? Rumor says the legendary patriarch is a nine-tribulation great emperor. With a smug smile, great-grandfather Tian Bei responds, do you really believe someone that young became a nine-tribulation great emperor so quickly? Isn't it more likely this is just smoke and mirrors spread by the Celestial Demon Sect to confuse the Righteous Path Alliance? Hearing great-grandfather Tianbei's words, a few people from the side begin speaking. It's true. All this time, no one has seen with their own eyes how he killed the 8 Tribulation Great Emperor. Great-grandfather Tianbei adds, that's why I say, even if the legendary patriarch is a rare genius from ancient times, he's not truly a powerful great emperor. Suddenly, someone from the crowd speaks up, you seem pretty confident in your theory. Great-grandfather Tianbei and Palace Lord Yibei immediately grow alert and turn toward the voice. And of course, the one standing there is none other than our boy, Ning Tian. At the entrance of the palace, Ning Tian and the Grand Elder appear. As the people inside catch sight of them, they shout out, Patriarch? The people present in the palace bow before Ning Tian and declare, I am Yibet, 4th Lord of the Great Compassion Palace. I pay my respects to the Patriarch. Then Ning Tian turns to Palace Lord Yibei and Great-grandfather Tianbei and asks, Did you say I'm not a 9 Tribulation Great Emperor? Hearing this, Palace Lord Yibei struggles to come up with a response. Be seeing their silence, Ning Tian begins to think, to avoid complications, maybe I should find a way to confirm my identity as a great emperor. After pondering for a moment, Ning Tian makes a suggestion to Great-grandfather Tianbei. How about I punch you? Hearing that, Great-grandfather Tianbei gasps in shock. What? He immediately starts sweating profusely and thinks, I can't see through his cultivation. Is he trying to trap me? If he's truly a 9 Tribulation Great Emperor, wouldn't I be doomed? Then he says to Ning Tian, with the Patriarch's strength, a single punch from him could erase me. Ning Tian calmly asks him, Didn't you say I'm not a powerful Great Emperor? Great-grandfather Tianbei clears his throat and replies to Ning Tian, cough. I was just expressing some doubts. How about this, what if I punch you, Patriarch? If you're really a 9 Tribulation Great Emperor, then one punch shouldn't be a problem, right? Ning Tian, showing no emotion on his face, looks at Great-grandfather Tianbei and says, You think you have that qualification? Great-grandfather Tianbei quickly clenches his fist and, forcing a cheerful tone, says, No. I just wanted to experience the Patriarch's style firsthand. After the punch, I'm willing to offer 100,000 acres of medicinal fields to apologize to the Patriarch. The moment Ning Tian hears that, his eyes widen in surprise as he thinks, 100,000 acres of medicinal fields. Not bad. Then Ning Tian points to his own cheek and says, You may only hit me here. Wouldn't the face be the most appropriate place? Great-grandfather Tianbei replies, If I damage the Patriarch's handsome face with my punch, I fear Her Majesty the Empress. Ning Tian answers calmly, The face is the most fragile spot. The rest of this emperor's body is extremely tough. One punch could ruin you. Do you want to be ruined? Hearing this, Great-grandfather Tianbei stares in awe and says, The Patriarch truly is a gentleman. Great-grandfather Tianbei begins gathering aura into his fist. Once the aura is fully charged, he rushes toward Ning Tian to strike, shouting, Forgive my offense. As he says this, Great-grandfather Tianbei throws a powerful punch at Ning Tian's face. But even after taking the hit, Ning Tian doesn't move an inch from where he stands. Seeing this, Great-grandfather Tianbei starts to wonder, is he that tough? The moment his fist connects with Ning Tian, the force rebounds, and Great-grandfather Tianbei is blasted backward, flying across the palace. The people around them watch in utter shock as he crashes to the ground some distance away. Palace Lord Yibei cries out, Great-grandfather. Great-grandfather has imperial realm strength, and yet, the legendary Patriarch truly lives up to his reputation. He quickly rushes to Ning Tian and asks, Patriarch, is Great-grandfather Tianbei alright? Ning Tian replies calmly, No problem. He just got bounced back. At the same time, Ning Tian thinks to himself, facial defense really is useful. If I say I'm invincible, then I'm invincible. Then Ning Tian turns to Palace Lord Yibei and says, Alright, about the Divine Fall Land, take me there. Palace Lord Yibei bows and responds, Understood. Just then, Ning Tian casually reminds him, and don't forget those 100,000 acres of medicinal fields. Palace Lord Yibei hesitates a little, then replies, Got it. A few moments later, Ning Tian, the Grand Elder, Palace Lord Yibei, and Great-grandfather Tianbei arrive at a hidden mountain path within the Divine Fall Land. After they arrive, someone turns to Ning Tian and says, Patriarch, it said these tall mountains of the divine fall land were formed from the bodies of divine realm powerhouses, and these thousands of valleys and ravines merged with their essence blood. Hearing that, Ning Tian speaks to the system, activate the Eye of Perception. Within moments, the system responds, activating Eye of Perception. Eye of Perception activated. As soon as the Eye of Perception activates, Ning Tian's eyes begin to glow brilliantly. With his enhanced vision, Ning Tian immediately notices a towering pillar of purple light rising from the ground into the sky. Seeing it, Ning Tian thinks to himself, that pillar of light. Could it be the aura radiating from the demon god's relics? Meanwhile, Palace Lord Yi Bei turns to Ning Tian and asks, Patriarch, did you discover something? To be honest, my daughter and some disciples are trapped inside. I'm truly worried about them. Ning Tian then opens a void portal and says to Palace Lord Yi Bei, don't worry. Wait here. I'll investigate first. He steps into the portal, using the one step into the void technique. As he vanishes, those behind him exclaim, the Patriarch really is a powerful great emperor. Within moments, Ning Tian uses the one step into the void technique to descend from the mountain peak through the void. After descending, Ning Tian looks around cautiously and says, the things in the divine fall land aren't ordinary. I must proceed cautiously. System use Shadow Clone Skill Card. The system responds, using Shadow Clone Skill Card. Successfully used. In an instant, the system creates a shadow clone identical to Ning Tian. The clone begins radiating a golden glow, and at the same time, the system sends another notification to Ning Tian. Shadow Clone Skill Card. Duration, 3 hours. Looking at his shadow clone, Ning Tian chuckles and says, hee hee. Let's see who can say if it was really Ning Tian who solved this.